good, YouTube? It's your boy 2K the God, my man Sess. Welcome to the Gods of Boxing Talk, the most controversial show on YouTube. And for this segment, there's going to be a lot of controversy. Really not that much. I always got to add something a little bit. Before we start, I just want to say, man, shout out to Kelly Pavlik. We just did an interview with Kelly Pavlik. My man Sess went out and got him, brought him in. Excellent interview. It's another one of those extended interviews, about an hour long, just like the one we did with Stephen Breadman Edwards. I'll be posting that shortly. Be sure to check that out. But for now, we're going to talk about what's hot. And what's hot right now, probably the hottest shit in boxing right now. Kell Brook versus Errol Spence. Brook will be defending his IBF 147-pound title May 20th of this year. Now, I've been told that the fight is probably going to be at Bramall Lane Football Stadium, which is in Sheffield, England, which is, I think that's Kell Brook's hometown.
Yep.
And it's a football stadium that houses the Sheffield United, which is a popular soccer team out there. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. All I got to say is hashtag man down.
Man down. Exactly.
So y'all already know who we picking, man. Sess, what's your thoughts, fam?
Yo, let me add to that 2K. Hashtag man down. Hashtag strap season.
Hashtag and the new.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And by the way, people, this ain't got shit to do with the fact we live in Dallas. We're not even from Dallas. No. So that ain't got shit to do with it.
Nope. Man, you know what? The only thing I can say is it's about time. You know, what took so long? You know what I mean? But I won't even get into all of that. I'm glad the fight is happening. I'm glad Errol Spence is getting his much-deserved title shot. And I'm glad Kell Brook did what we all wanted him to do, and that's go head on and take the challenge. You know, take the challenge. Errol Spence has a lot of head of steam right now. The boxing world is talking about him. Boxing trainers are talking about him. Everybody is making a big deal about Errol Spence right now. So for Kell Brook, you know, if you beat him, that says a lot. You know what I mean? That says a lot about Kell Brook and his skill set. But for Errol Spence, if he beats Kell Brook and becomes the new IBF champion, it's a long time coming. You know what I mean? And I, for one, am very, very, very excited about this fight. I think in order to get this fight, Errol Spence's side, they had to concede to a lot of things. And that's the hometown advantage, you know, in which rightfully so, Kell Brook is the champion. You know, I understand.
Absolutely.
You know, so there's so much going into this fight. I know with Errol, because this is his moment. You know, this proves if all we're hearing is legit. You know what I mean? Because he's going up against a real stiff champion in Kell Brook. You know what I mean? So a lot of people are saying, you know, is Errol Spence real? Is the truth really a lie? You know what I mean?
Or is he
a lot of cats.
Is he like Paul Pierce? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. You know, so a lot of cats are questioning that, man. You know, now I know better. You know, I'm not shitting on Errol Spence at all. I'm just kind of giving people, you know, giving everybody what it is. But man, I'm telling you, man, I think Errol's gonna have to be at the top of his game, and I think he will be. I think Kell Brook is gonna have to be at the pinnacle, at the very top of his game, coming off of the injury to Gennady Golovkin and just everything surrounding that fight. So this is going to be a great, great fight. This is what the welterweight division needs. I love it, and I can't wait for it. May 20th, it's on.
Yo, two things I'm going to piggyback off of. One thing you said about Kell Brook being probably the stiffest test. A lot of motherfuckers think Kell Brook is the best welterweight champion out there right now. You talk to a lot of people, and this isn't just British cats. You talk to motherfuckers out here in the U.S., they'll be like, yo, Kell Brook is the #1 welterweight right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Secondly, about what you said about Errol Spence having to basically bend over backwards for Kell Brook's demands. One of the biggest ones is a 75-25 purse split. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
On top of going to Sheffield. So Errol Spence, Al Heyman, Derek James, they are fucking confident. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to break this fight down. And I'm going to keep it real short. All I'm going to say is the two key things, the two key flaws for Kell Brook for why he will have trouble in this fight is two things. One, he has a great jab, which is not a flaw.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But the flaw is he abandons it at times. Errol Spence gets hit with jabs at will. Just watch the Chris Van Heerden fight. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Chris Van Heerden was landing jabs constantly. Alejandro Barrera was landing right uppercuts constantly. Okay? Errol Spence can be hit, but Kell Brook has to dictate this fight with his jab. Do not abandon the jab. Second thing, footwork. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Kell Brook moves back and forth in a straight fucking line. And he'll move all the way back until his back touches the ropes. Then he'll try to spin off the ropes. Or he could be stagnant. Sean Porter fight. Which was a good thing. He stood his ground, but he did a lot of holding because he knew that he couldn't move away from the pressure. So he stayed there, threw a check hook. Most of the time he threw that check counter left hook, and then he held him. None of that shit is going to work against Errol Spence. None of it. He's going to have to move laterally, and that's one of the things he doesn't do very well, man. So, I just wanted to keep it short. I'm not going to break it down. We will definitely break this motherfucker down all the way to the bone. You're going to see all of it, the white meat and the bone, after we get done with this shit. Close to the May 20th. All right. Next. You know, this is not only a win for Deontay Wilder, but it's a win for boxing, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely.
As y'all all know, we did a video. Some agreed, some disagreed. Alexander Povetkin, along with Lucas Brown. You know, in recent days, I've been a little more lenient towards Lucas Brown not being banned indefinitely, but still the fact that both these fighters got caught twice within 6 to 8 months, respectively, talking about Povetkin and Lucas Brown. We need to be intolerant to shit like that. You know what I'm saying? We need some harsh-ass penalties when it comes to motherfuckers getting caught within 6 to 8 months, multiple times.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So Deontay Wilder winning his lawsuit against Alexander Povetkin, which was for $4.5 million, that was placed in escrow once Povetkin tested positive for a banned substance. And by the way, y'all probably already know this, but just to further prove my point that we need to get this motherfucker out of here, is that he failed his B sample as well. Okay.
Yep.
Anyway, the jury deliberated 32 minutes. Motherfuckers went back there, you know what I'm saying, said, guilty, 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 guilty. Done. Let's eat. Ate, and then went out there and said, guilty.
Yep, exactly.
The motherfuckers, there was no conversation. 32 minutes, fam, there was no conversation. And
lunch break.
Exactly, fam, lunch break. And the biggest thing was because the evidence shows that meldonium was banned in January of 2016. And they found this shit in his system in April.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's shit, nigga, in the court of law, that's what do they call that shit? The smoking gun.
Yeah.
That's the smoking gun. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Open and shut case. But Alexander Povetkin, just like any other defendant that loses a case, has the ability to appeal. What do you think about this, man?
Man, you know what? I agree. First off, I agree with everything you said, 2K. I'm very happy that the case went how it went. It should have went this way, and I was a bit nervous that it wouldn't go this way.
Yeah.
But all in all, I'm very, very, very happy that things are playing out this way. You know what I mean? And I hope Bermain Stavern jumps on the bandwagon and does the exact same thing, because this is what we need. Harsh lawsuits against fighters that test positive for something, knowing that they have a fight in lingo, knowing that they've got a fight right there, and they go and ruin it by putting something in their system that they know is illegal.
Absolutely.
You know, this isn't like, Povetkin took something for a fever or a headache or some shit like that, and he tested positive. You know, this dude meant to put meldonium in his system. Exactly. So come on, man. You know, and another thing, a lot of the fans that, or you know what, a lot of the fans that wanted to be so right about Povetkin and he's not doing anything wrong, you know, no, come on, you know, that really rolled for this dude. Well, you know, in a court of law, this exactly, 2K, this says different. You know, this judgment says different. So I'm absolutely glad this happened, man. And like I said, I hope Bermain Stavern jumps on the bandwagon, sues his ass as well, because it's pretty much the same exact case, you know, with Wilder and Stavern. The same thing. You know, Povetkin cannot stay off of PEDs. It just looks that way. Yeah. You know, and now me and you said the same thing in a video prior to this one. I've got to question his whole career. Yeah. I can't look at any victory and say that's legit, because the guy has done this on more than one occasion. You know, so I'm looking at him, and truthfully, I want him banned. You know, I don't want him just to lose money. I want the guy banned, man. I don't think he should be, I don't think he should be fighting professionally in a boxing ring. I just don't.
Yep, I agree 100%. Next! This is a little, it's not old, but it's still relevant. You know what I'm saying? Adrien Broner, Adrien Granados, fight will be at 147 instead of 142. A lot of people are talking about how this is going to be bad for Adrien Granados. I 100%, 1000% disagree. You know what I'm saying? And the reason being is because the style that Adrien Granados has, this fight could be at 376 fucking pounds, fam. His style will still be a positive for him against Adrien Broner's style, regardless of where the fucking fight is at. Okay, he has the pressure Marcos Maidana type of style. Okay, so therefore weight really has no fucking, it really has no bearing, because Adrien Broner is gonna know how, he's gonna have to learn how to elude the pressure or pretty much stagnate Adrien Granados' pressure. Okay, yeah. Or better yet, use his pressure against him, move him backwards. That's gonna be all on Adrien Broner regardless of weight. Okay. Yeah. But secondly, Adrien Granados has fought at 147 before, people. You know, his best. Now he didn't look good in the bigger fights at 147. He smashed on some bums, some F level fighters and shit. You know, niggas under the overpass and shit. He smashed on a couple of them. You know what I'm saying? But Adrien Broner ain't look good at 147 either. You know what I'm saying?
He didn't. Yep.
Shit, he in my opinion, he lost to Paulie.
Hey, you and a lot of other cats. Exactly.
I was going for, at that time, fam, that was right after he just obliterated Antonio DeMarco's ass. I couldn't stand DeMarco at that time. I was happy when my man Edwin Valero obliterated his ass. You know what I'm saying? But at that time, when he just obliterated him, I was like, ain't nobody beating him. Floyd Mayweather.
Oh, shit, yeah.
And I'm even saying, with that mindset going into the Paulie fight, that Paulie won that fight. You know what I'm saying? So Adrien ain't look good at 147 either, and of course he lost Marcos Maidana there as well. But Granados had a draw with Kermit Cintron at 147, like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And then he lost to fast-handed, highly touted prospect Brad Sullivan. So I think he's been there like 4 or 5 or maybe 6 times total in his career. He's actually way over 147 a couple times as well. So this isn't new territory for him. This is probably the biggest fight for him at 147. But like I said, as long as his mental is right, the weight has no bearing on his style. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it should matter, man. What do you think about this? And what do you think about? Let me ask you this too. My bad. What do you think about Adrien Broner's discipline? Does this say anything about his discipline?
Man, you know what, 2K? Let me answer your last question first.
No doubt.
You know what? I think it does say a lot about his discipline. The only thing I'm gonna say in his defense, and well, I'm not defending him, but the only thing that I am gonna throw in there is he did say he was sick in camp, and I did see before Broner even put the illness out, he was extremely sick. I don't know if he had the flu or whatever it was, but he did put a video out before he even mentioned being sick in camp, and he looked terrible. You know, he was really congested. His face was puffy and all the other things. So, you know, that could have played a factor. But I also want to mention, fighters have been sick in camp before, and they still came in the fight on weight. Absolutely. So I don't want to like I'm giving much of an excuse. I'm just telling everybody what I've seen. But there is a problem with Broner making 140 pounds. You know, this fight was initially at 142. Was it 2K?
Yep.
Okay. And in the Sean Porter fight, I also think, was that fight at a catch weight as well?
145.
145 pounds. So Adrien Broner has a problem making weight. What he needs to do is, what I believe he needs to do, he needs to fight at 147 pounds. Now, hear me out, people. Hear me out. But he needs to work on his skill and his technique. Absolutely. Okay? Adrien Broner is not a bad fighter. He just has bad fighter tendencies.
Absolutely.
You know, when he gets in the ring, he plants his feet. You know, he has a very wide stance, and he tries to be defensive. But when your feet are that wide and you're planted, you can't get out the way you want to or the way you think you'll be able to.
Boom.
So, you know, fight at 147, but damn, man, work on your technique, work on your skill. You know what I mean? That's all he has to do. Now, going into the Adrian Granados fight, just like you said, 2K, and I agree 100%, the fight's going to look the same regardless of whatever weight it's at, you know, on Adrian Granados' behalf, because he's not going to get up in there and be a little bit lighter footed at 142 than he would be at 147, you know, because he's fought at 147 before, and his style generally is one way. You know, he's sort of a come forward pressure type of guy that will beat on you because he can crack. You know, we've seen that in the Amir Imam fight. Word. So I don't have a problem with the 147 pound weight limit. You know, I don't like the fact that it's been changed so close to the fight. But at the same time, Granados can eat a little bit more, and you know he can probably feel pretty good going into the fight. My thing is, what Granados has to do is please don't get caught up in the John Molina mindset. John Molina was a guy that I said, yo, this may be kind of tough for Adrian because Molina can crack. Right. And, you know, everybody knows that about him. And plus, Molina's a dude that will come forward. Yeah. And what Molina did was he got in front of Broner, and it was almost like he was starstruck. You know, and that's no knock on him, but he just wouldn't let his hands go. He let Adrien Broner control the fight with his jab. Broner was jabbing the hell out of him. Terrible. So that's what Granados has to do. Don't get in front of Broner and think too much. Don't overthink it because he's fast, you know, or because Broner can crack. Because Broner's got power too. You know, I don't think a lot of people look at it, but Broner's got that cracking power because he's so fast. You don't see his punches.
Right.
So that's what Granados has to do. Don't get in front of him. Don't overthink anything. don't, look at him and just think he's going to immediately go back because you're coming forward. What Marcos Maidana did was put a jab in Broner's face.
And that's where I was getting ready to go with it. I'll wait. I'll let you finish, but that's exactly where I was going to go with it.
Yeah. So, that's what Granados has to do. I still like the fight. I'm not going to shit on the fight at all. I think it's a great fight. I like the opportunity for Granados because, he is one of them scrappy type of dudes, man, that can beat anybody on any given night. Yeah. So, like I said, I won't shit on it too much. I'm actually looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. I can't wait to see it. It's this weekend, I believe. So.
Yep.
It's gonna be something that let me just say I'll be more excited about this fight than I was Leo Santa Cruz, Carl Frampton.
Oh, me too.
Like I said, Carl, Leo landed a punch. I'd be like, hey, everybody, y'all see that? Niggas in the background, I was like, yeah, we saw it. Nah, but to piggyback on 2 points you made, Adrien Broner does hit hard. I mean, he dropped big ass Sean Porter with a check left hook.
There you go.
That was a punch from his offhand, not even his strong hand. He dropped him.
Nope.
Also, don't forget Adrian Granados, why he did power drive Amiri Mom. You know what I'm saying? Amiri Mom did drop him, fam. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And Amiri Mom is not a big power puncher. He's, again, one of those guys that has a sneaky punch because he's fast and he's crafty, much like Adrien Broner, where you can get hit with shit you don't see. So there is a big possibility that the same thing could happen to Adrien Granados that Amiri Mom was able to do to him. Second point, the jab. Bro, 100% absolutely agree. That's exactly what I was getting ready to say. But I was going to say it in a different aspect. A lot of people are like, man, upset alert. Well, I'm not giving a prediction just yet. I won't jump to conclusions just because Adrien Granados has a high pressure come forward style, and Adrien Broner has lost twice to those type of guys.
Absolutely.
Sean Porter is a goddamn linebacker. Right? I mean, literally, this motherfucker is LT in the ring, fam. You know
For real, yeah.
That is ridiculous pressure with strength involved in that. Okay, he was manhandling Adrien. I remember Adrien getting pushed all across the ring and shit.
Man,
Adrien Granados don't got that kind of pressure. Okay. Marcos Maidana, while Adrien Granados does have Marcos Maidana kind of pressure, he doesn't have the Marcos Maidana jab, and that jab was something that troubled even Floyd Mayweather twice.
Yes, sir.
Okay, motherfuckers not expecting a guy like Marcos Maidana to jab. And Adrien Granados ain't got no fucking jab. So that's what's missing there, that key element that was confusing Broner from Marcos Maidana. Adrien Granados is not going to be bringing that into the ring. So, with that said, this fight is not open and shut for Adrien Granados by any stretch of the imagination.
Oh, no.
I want y'all to keep those 2 points and everything that says set in your head while you're trying to break this fight down. And, of course, as always, we will break this motherfucker down.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Break it down to the white meat. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Word life. Alright, that's going to conclude this segment. YouTube, do what you do in the comments section. Be real. Let us know what you think about all these topics. This is Real Talk for real fans. 1.